Susie. Back from our summer adventure.
Yes, we're back, and it's it's Valentine's. Happy Valentine's Day to the love of my life, Sarah Louise Butler Rice.
The longest, most successful relationship I've had.
Right? Oh my gosh. Wow. We have a lot of love to give, and we're going to give it to the Brain Candy Brainiacs today. Welcome to episode 687. I've just returned last night from Sarah's palatial estate.
Palatial estate. I was going to say humble abode.
It's somewhere in the middle of those two things. What a joy it was to see you after a year and a half.
Oh my gosh, I know. Well, we did get to see each other a little bit for when we had our Brain Candy meetup, but it felt like, you were working. You were like
one day.
Yeah, it was one day. And, I feel like your brain is somewhere else when you have to do stand-up comedy. Like, that would be so much pressure. I would not be able to just chill and hang out.
That's why I felt bad for right after the show when we hung out with the Brainiacs, because it was too short. And it also, I was just my head was spinning. I just, hadn't come back to earth. So, anyway, that was not enough. And then this was much more substantial and much more time together.
Yes, this was lovely. And I feel like it's been a really long time since you've been in my house, or since you've been in my, we've shared each other's space.
Been that I haven't been in your space since 2020.
Yeah. Long time.
I got my fill. It was so nice.
We got to celebrate
an adventure, everybody,
Adam's birthday. She had to hear the word. How many times do you think you heard the word powder?
Not as many as I thought.
Really?
Maybe
why? Because it didn't snow. But we did try to throw it into as many conversations. Here's some of the things we did. We visited the Continental Divide. Which then I asked, what is a continental divide? Still no one has answered me. I think that it's where the two tectonic plates meet.
For real?
Sounds about, I don't know. I was wondering the whole time. And then I probably didn't want, I don't know. I just Eli probably had an explanation for us, but we weren't listening or something.
No, he said he didn't know either.
Oh, well,
nobody knew.
Okay. Nobody knew. We know nothing. We visited it. It was lovely. And went up to the mountains. Adam and Lincoln got to do some skiing, and I was very impressed. Lincoln was pretty good.
Yeah,
he survived longer than I ever thought he would. And he said, I don't know if Eli shared this with you, but I'll share with their Brainiacs. He said one of the best things, and it really showed me what kind of, I was like, oh, this is exactly Susie's son right here. So, Adam keeps telling him, you got to put your skis parallel, buddy. You got to come on, you got to do it. You got to do it. And Lincoln goes, Dad, I think you just are overestimating my abilities in this certain thing.
Oh, yeah. He said, you're not respecting my capabilities.
Yes.
Okay, sit down.
That's Susie's son. There you go.
Yeah.
And I was like, look at this. Good communication. Somehow he's picked up some things along the way.
See, what Sarah sees as good communication, I see as somebody trying to do verbal gymnastics to get out of accountability.
Well, you know what? A tip of the hat.
Tomato.
Yeah, tomato. Oh, but it was really cute.
Yes.
And we had a lovely time. And we played a lot of Settlers of Catan. Mm-hmm. Catan has been settled time and time again.
That's a fun game. And I was super skeptical because all the people that I know that like it are bros. Or at least are...
Oh, really? Bros?
Are male.
Huh.
Not necessarily
I see they're all nerds.
Yeah, but do you know any women that love it? Is what I mean.
People always tell me that I will love it.
That's not evidence to your...
You're right. It is not. That does not. No.
You like a lot of stuff that dudes like, though, is what I mean. I don't know any women that are super into Settlers of Catan.
Because we don't want to... We're not into... That's not... I get it. I really do. And this is hashtag not all women. But... it's the same energy as Monopoly. And here's what I hate. I hate any game where one of the ways that you can win or the way to win is talking an opponent out of one of their
strategies or whatever.
Yeah, or like cards or whatever. Monopoly is like, I'll give you one of these and then you'll forever have to like pay me mortgage with this. And like everybody feels like a fucking landlord. Like I don't want that energy. Yeah. I got in an argument with Eli, sort of argument. I guess we'll call it an argument. More just like me telling him, I don't want to talk about this. When he was like going through credit card options. Like, well, you could do this and you could do this. I'm like, stop trying to sell. This is like Settlers of Catan all over again.
Yeah.
It totally wasn't. True. I just lost that game over and over and over. I have terrible strategy.
It's fun though. If you ever get the chance, you should play it. It's
yeah,
great.
It's better. It's fun.
Yeah,
and Lincoln loved it, so it was good family time. You know,
fun
I love it. I love
the whole family, which I thought was you couldn't have fun for the whole family. That's a lie. This actually,
but this one is good, and you have a son who can sit through board games and is like good at chess, so that makes it easier.
Yeah, it was great.
Yes, we also had the chance to watch some of the Grammys together, and you and I have different feelings about Beyonce, but the same feeling about her being quote unquote fashionably late.
I was so mad about that.
Rude.
It is rude.
It's not like you don't know about LA traffic.
Yeah, that's a power move. That's a power move is what
you think is. It seems like that.
And I especially hate that being critical of Beyonce is like, this is controversial what we're doing right now.
Isn't that crazy? And I'm the biggest fan. Like I love Beyonce. So I will just say that it did feel like, I don't know.
What are you doing? You got other plans? What are you doing?
We're already going to be scanning the audience for you. You don't we're already waiting on pins and needles for you to arrive and to see what you're wearing.
Yeah. Because you know how people think she's an icon, she's a legend. Yes. In order for that to be true, in my opinion, you have to be professional. And I am a big fan of being prompt. I do not like people who aren't punctual.
Yeah. Madonna once showed up when I saw Madonna at Coachella years ago. Whatever year Madonna did Coachella, that was like not recent. That's how long ago I went to Coachella. This was like 20 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And she was like 2 hours late. People were furious. They booed her, and then they threw like water bottles on stage. And I got to tell you, I wasn't mad about it. I wasn't mad about people's response, because it felt like, you think that you are too good for the and at the time, I think it was like 18 or 19 at the time. And I remember spending saving so much money and spending all my money on this ticket, really wanting to see her. You have limited amount of time to see whichever artists are, and any time that you spend in one tent, you're taken away from what you could be doing somewhere else, blah, 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 blah. And so it just felt like, does she not understand that,
yeah, I don't think
I didn't want to spend my hard-earned money waiting for 2 hours in the hot, hot sun for Madonna to get there and do 2 songs?
I just don't get that. I don't get the logic. I don't know whether they think that shows some sort of I'm amazing vibe. Yeah. But that's not what I see it as. It's rude.
I also wasn't a huge fan of everybody's tinfoil dresses.
Me neither, Sarah.
So we didn't even talk about this.
I know.
You know why? Because they weren't the original dresses that people wore. They changed into them.
They changed into
what are we doing?
Tinfoil.
Why are we all wearing tinfoil?
Why is that? I thought you would know because you're very on top of trends. I thought you were
I am wearing what could easily be described as a wearable duvet.
Yeah,
comforter.
But just because you don't...
Let me just stand up and give people just a full experience.
If you're watching the video version, you are looking at something special.
Yes.
It looks like she's wearing a sleeping bag.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
Does that sound
but just because you don't participate in trends doesn't mean you're not aware of them. You really do know a lot about trends.
They do say those who cannot do judge.
Is that our problem? We're over here in our winter wear, just practical.
I'm wearing
sweaters,
clogs, mules, and a comforter as a jacket. Yeah, but hey.
One trend that I will wear because it is practical and stylish, that is Honey Love.
Well, okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is one where sometimes like they're the clothes that maybe you don't want people to know you're wearing because they're the ones that suck everything in.
Right. I am a big fan of flattering clothes, and Honey Love helps make that possible because their shapewear is out of this world. But I have to really hand it to them for the bra situation.
Oh, I love it.
As you know, I'm not
a fan of bras. It's like a combo regular bra, sports bra.
Yeah. Super comfortable.
Yeah, like big, thick strap, no bulge. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, everything is exactly where it should be, stays in place, and you don't even think about it all day, which is really all I want from my undergarments. I don't want to think about them. And Honey Love has amazing shapewear bras. I love their leggings.
Yeah.
I was mad that I didn't bring them on the trip because that would have been the perfect
They are the perfect travel pant.
I know. I must have been in a rush. I don't know.
Look at I'm mad at her or something. And they're like the kind of material like dog hair doesn't really stick to, which is nice because you need that over at Casa Aros.
You can pair that special bra with the leggings, and you are going to be comfortable all day. The crossover bra is the one I'm raving about. You guys should try it. Treat yourself to the best
sexy
shapewear.
Sports bra.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, right. Because sports bras usually are, let's just say, not cute.
Yeah, and then you get that uniboob thing. This is not that. No
uniboobs here.
This is like,
not that.
Yeah, it's sexy.
Treat yourself to the best shapewear on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com with the code BRAINCANDY. Use code BRAINCANDY at honeylove.com. Cinched, snatched, and lifted. It's hot girl season. Thanks to Honey Love.
Yes, see? This is what I'm talking about. This is like one of those things where like they invent new materials. And
what the heck is this made of?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. And they're like, oh yeah, let's use this for like, this is what happens when you put women in charge of things.
Yeah.
You start using this material for the right kind of purposes.
Yeah, whatever it is that they're using. It's like back smoothing and it's amazing. So try it out.
Yes. Yes, hold the shit. Okay, let's talk about some things.
Okay.
Besides Beyonce, because we agree on that.
Yeah, get it together,
there is something that some people don't agree on, but I think maybe, actually, I don't know. We might have a different opinion on this one.
Okay.
So there was one of those "Am I the Asshole?" forum things where this woman recently got divorced, and she decided to keep her last name.
Oh, I did not see this. She decided to keep her married name.
Her married name.
Right.
Like, I would keep Patterson and just not change it. And she's like, why would I do that? I already went through the hassle of changing everything.
Well, right. That's what you said. You were just like, why is it so hard to get my name back?
And that, right. And so she's like, no, I'm not doing it. And people are on both sides of the fence about this.
Wait, that's the end of the story?
Well, there's the debate over people. Some people are saying that she should ditch it. Some people are saying that it's his last name.
I don't like this.
You shouldn't be like walking around like if he doesn't want you to keep the last name, like that you should.
Well, did
not
she
have the last
provide
name.
her reasoning? Not that it matters; it's her choice.
No, that it was just like a lot of hassle to do, and it's easier to just add his name to everything.
Wonder how long they were married too, because I mean, if you're married for a really long time.
Yeah, my mom kept rice.
Yeah,
she never, and I do. There were a lot of people who said because of the kids.
Yes, I hear that.
But I don't think in this situation there were children.
Okay. Well,
there's a little bit of there's a little tiny part of me that thinks it's a kind of a power move.
Okay.
You know? Because think about me right now.
Yes.
Not currently married.
Yes.
With the I had the option. I could have been like, nah, I don't want to do that. Yeah. And then there's like another Mrs. Patterson. Then my ex gets remarried, and now there's another Mrs. Patterson.
Yeah.
I could see there being a little bit of like I don't want to.
Well, I know that it would annoy the new wife.
Yes, that is what I think.
Because I was the new wife in my first marriage, and I hated that the first wife still had
Okay.
I understood it because they did have a kid, and I got it intellectually, but I just didn't like that we both have his last name.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't
I
like
get
it.
that. But I mean, the whole last name thing is a problem anyway. There's just no way to have like the right answer here.
Right.
You know how somebody said to you, or even maybe you just said this yourself, like, I don't really want my dad's name because you don't have a good relationship.
Right.
So then you took your new husband's name. Either way, it's a dude.
Right. I hate it all, Suze.
We just should do like, what's her face, Phoebe on Friends, and become whatever Copacabana banana hammock or whatever the heck.
Just get to pick. Like, that's, you know who did
Princess
it, I think did such
Consuela.
a great job is Cheryl Strayed. She, in her book, Wild, she's the author of the book Wild, and in her book, which is like her memoir, really, she writes about how when she got divorced, there's a place where you can write your last name, where she got to choose. And she just picked a name that felt like a wanderer. Like, she chose the last name Strayed because...
Yeah, that
was
suited
kind of
her.
like-
It's like my theory.
Yeah.
She got to pick what represented her identity.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, what would yours be? Oh, fun game.
Hey, listen, I'm a pretty big fan of Meister.
It's great. And Butler is not too shabby either.
It's funny to me that they're so, identifying. So, and I always liked that yours was Rice because,
Your son, however, did not like that I kept referring to my apartment as Casa Aros. And I was like, we'll now be headed back to Casa Aros. And he was like, stop calling it that. But I think it's just because of my mispronunciation.
Now
of
you're
Aros.
just annoying me.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I'm sorry. This is the name of the establishment.
Right.
Oh,
Sarah loves a repeating joke. She likes...
Oh, I love it because I love how annoyed he gets, but then he's not really annoyed because he laughs. And I know he's like, stop it. So I'm like, oh, okay, I will. Wink, wink.
Wink till next time.
Yeah. So.
Okay, but this, I think that the thing that we need to remember is what you pointed out, which is that changing your name is unduly hard, in my opinion. And
so hard. Like, so time consuming.
Yeah, and every state is different also. And I knew that from being in Pennsylvania and then moving to California. It's way easier in California. What?
It's I'm just laughing about like the name change. Like they practically, not practically, they needed my birth certificate that I had to get notarized. I was just like, I can't believe how fucking easy it was to get married, to have some dude, this random guy who could have been any Joe Schmo off the street, be like, yeah, let's make her last name Patterson.
Yes.
And then when I'm like, actually, this is my name. Here's all the proper documentation. Here's my passport. Hasn't been changed. Here's my former ID.
Yeah.
Here's this, da-da-da-da. They're like, we're going to need 2 drops of your blood and a magical unicorns.
DNA test.
Yes. Like,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Sprinkles from a fairy's wings. I'm like, what is this you're asking for?
And it's asking a lot, almost exclusively of women, because this is not something most men have to do or think about ever. So we can't win, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe if I chose it now, I'd be Susie Wild Grain.
Oh.
Because I love wild grain bread so much.
So delicious.
Sarah and I spent a fair amount of our time together talking about things like how much we love wild grain. We talked about brainiacs and who's hilarious to us and whatever.
Yes, we did.
But wild grain came up because we were talking about how easy it is to convince people of its awesomeness. My friend Kelly, she just told me that she can't get enough of it. She was so happy that we introduced it to her.
One of my favorite things is it's not necessarily proving someone wrong, but it's meeting / exceeding their expectations.
Right.
That is what I love when I'm like, no, guys,
just try
us. Yes. Eli did the same thing. He goes, oh my God, this is amazing. And whenever somebody does that, I'm like, I've won. So I get to do that all the time.
Yeah, because it's like being able to say, I told you so, but it's about something nice.
Yes, exactly. Which is like really what we all want.
Wild Grain is a bread and pasta delivery that comes to your house. And this is why you should just try it, because God knows you're not going to waste it. You're going to eat the bread.
Yeah. Would not eating bread and pasta? What are you, crazy?
It comes frozen. You put it in your freezer. And then whenever you're having a meal where you think, hey, you know what would go great with this? Freaking bread. You just get it out of the freezer, pop it in the oven. And in about 45 minutes, you're going to have bread that tastes like you made it from scratch, like where you'd have flour all over yourself and kneaded it. Except you don't have flour all over yourself. And you didn't have to knead it. Okay?
Right. It did all the work.
And there's like croissants. There's like chocolate croissants. There's
I
rolls.
highly recommend those. Highly recommend.
Pastas, pastries, everything. It's unbelievable, delicious, baked from frozen subscription box. Wildgrain.com/brain candy is the URL. For a limited time, you get $30 off your first box plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/brain candy to start your subscription. You heard me. Free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/brain candy. That's wildgrain.com/brain candy. Or you can use promo code brain candy at checkout.
Yes. There you go. Now I want some bread. Okay. So I feel like she's not the asshole, but we can understand that there might be a hint of petty underneath there.
Sure. I mean, I can understand, like, if you were the husband, you might want her to not have your name. I can understand all of the feelings, but to get upset about it seems silly.
Yeah, nobody should get upset about.
No, it's all right.
Yeah.
We got bigger problems.
Yes, we do. Like this thing I'm about to tell you.
Tell me!
Okay. 45, this was a study that went out in the UK to university students. 45% of male respondents were confident that they could locate the nubis on female genitalia.
Well, I hate to say it, but I don't know what a nubis is.
Well, that would be a good thing to not know because it's a made-up thing.
Thank God.
That 45% of men are convinced they could, confident.
Stop it.
They could find.
Stop.
Yes.
What would you have done, Sarah? 45% of male
university students believe that they could locate the nubis on a diagram of a female reproductive system. The problem is that Vice reporter Sophia Smith-Gaylor made it up.
Sarah.
Yeah.
This is awesome, number one. Number two, what would you have done if when you introduced this story, pretended like I knew?
Well, no, you know what? I would make you feel okay because this was a very important survey that was about sex education in the UK and how really we're not doing a good job. And I would not, of course, I would make you not feel bad because 31% of female students also believed that they could locate it as well.
Oh, no. See, I hate that part of this story.
Right.
Oh,
That really suggests that the UK is really lacking in sexual education, or at least where the research took place.
I highly doubt it's just the UK. I mean,
of course not.
Yeah.
Please. Didn't you see that there was like that video that went viral about a woman talking about why we really need to vote because men are just making decisions about our reproductive
they don't
health,
understand.
and they don't even know, like when you ask them like how many tampons they go through like 100 and then they're like, can women pee with a tampon in? No, they probably have to take it out. Like they don't no idea. They couldn't tell you how many holes we have down here. We don't know shit about shit.
Yes.
Or
and
vaginas.
That same goes for pregnancy, like what happens to make a baby.
And that's really dangerous, especially with misinformation about the forming of a human body and what that even looks like at different stages.
Like my mom, and I did when I was growing up, we had these little teeny tiny pins that we wore because we were pro-life at that time, and my mom still is. And they are these itty bitty, like smaller than a dime, itty bitty baby feet. And it was to show this is what the size of baby feet are at whatever age in the womb. Right. And it's like false, obviously. And that's not what
feet develop.
Yes. And it's effective because it makes people think this is just a teeny tiny version of exactly what you are.
Right. And misinformation.
Yeah, it's just a false narrative.
Oh my God. Like the Nubis.
Like a Nubis. I can't believe it.
Oh, isn't it crazy?
To be honest with you, wouldn't you say that if you had to guess the percentage, you would have guessed higher? Because you know that overconfidence thing that guys do.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, yeah, I know where that is.
For sure. And I would want to know, like, what area of the campus you were on when you were conducting the survey. Because I feel like the psychology department and the engineering department are going to give you two very different responses.
Wow.
The psychology department may be able to point it out, but maybe the engineering department know what to do with it. I don't know. Something like that.
Why do you think we are so in the dark about anatomy?
Because we
shame?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
This I've got to cover up and hide this. I mean, if you can't show paintings and sculptures and stuff like that in classrooms, like, it's very hard to, like, get out a diagram, which is so ridiculous because we should be learning about the human body in the same way we learn about any other parts of the human body.
Wait, say that again.
Like, we should be learning about those parts of the human body.
Oh, yeah.
The way we should be learning about any other parts. Yeah, you're right. I forgot a big part of that sentence. Like, it's just weird how even when I say learning about the human body, we think about our genitalia.
Yeah, our bits.
Yeah, our bits.
Wow, that is... Okay, well, maybe that sort of campaign will be effective in getting people to realize, like, we need to learn more about ourselves.
Yeah. And, there were also some interesting results of the study. Male students, 41% of male students said that they felt pressurized in their first experience of penetrative sex. And 38% of female students said that they did.
Pressured to do it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well.
That more male students. Like, that is a thing that we don't really discuss that men feel this pressure to do that as well.
And I think what you're saying is they may not necessarily feel pressured during that moment in the intimate act. They feel pressured culturally or by their peers.
You should be having sex right now. Oh. Yes, you should be wanting this. You should be like, don't you think, like, isn't this something you're into?
Did you feel that when you were growing up? Did you feel like, oh, I need to be more experienced or something?
No.
No, I didn't either.
I think it was kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
It was weird though.
Uh-huh. Do you think it's worse now?
That kids feel...
Maybe because they have access to the internet and porn and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, that's a bummer.
And I think they're getting their information from, and like getting the models of like what sex looks like.
Yeah.
Are not realistic.
Mm-hmm. And they think like everybody's doing it and I'm not.
Yeah. And it's like I remember, it's kind of like, I can remember so vividly the first time I really learned about curse words. I can remember exactly where I was sitting on the kindergarten bench, and some of my kindergarten friends were talking to some of the first grade friends when like the fences meet and like right at this one bench, and they were going around and like, do you know what the A word is? And of course I'd be like, apple. And they're like, no. And I just remember that like, that we were talking about like, oh, what, you don't know what that is? Before people were casually using curse words like, in their regular vocabulary. So I would imagine it's the same thing with kind of that sex talk. Before people are actually engaging in like consensual sex, like as, young adults or whatever.
Yeah.
There's this talk of like, oh, what? You're not doing it? Oh, you're...
Yeah, that's one thing I did growing up as I did. It was the opposite. You were expected to be pure and, chaste. But, and I am glad about that. I don't love the shame that accompanies that, this feeling of like it's bad or sinful and desire is something you should feel bad about. But the effect, I think, is great because most people are not ready for quite a while.
That's true. But then it gets to the problem where like, what was it like to shake off those beliefs or feelings about it? Like, did you have to?
I don't know that you ever really fully do.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was like thinking, that those feelings about that you have to like really challenge those kind of thoughts that say you shouldn't be liking this or what?
Yeah, because when I watch, performers, if they're sexually provocative, my instinct is to be like, whoa, because it feels too much and it feels like it should be private. Which isn't necessarily bad, but the judgment towards people who don't agree is bad.
Yeah.
Because, I remember watching like that Miley Cyrus performance with that Thicke guy, Robin Thicke, on the VMAs, and feeling outraged at the time. I'm like, hey, lady, can't cool it. And it was not towards Robin, it was towards Miley.
Wow. Okay.
Like women.
So it is. So this is such a good example of like how we talk about how you're not responsible for your first thought.
Yeah.
But you're responsible for your second one. How,
yeah.
Like, of course, that is what you're conditioned to have. Like, you grew up being with those messages drilled into your head. So that is, no matter what, you're going to be that first thought, especially when like you're in kind of like a vulnerable place, when you're like, engaged or watching something, you're kind of like absorbing it, whatever. Yeah. I can see that. And you're not like as actively like, I don't know, creating the thoughts as you are just reacting to things that are happening. Yeah. So those thoughts just automatically pop in.
Yeah.
And that's so interesting.
Sam Smith at the Grammys, I saw a clip of that and I was like, whoa. Or, stuff like that. So anytime I see someone twerking.
Oh my God. Anytime I see someone twerking.
Real, I'm like, wow.
Oh, good. And I love it. I'm like, ooga, yeah.
Yeah. You had a totally different experience.
Yeah, but I get that. Yeah. I have to, this is like, a sad take on it, but I have to fight my initial thought anytime I see a dad holding their daughter's hand, anytime I see any sort of loving act, like kind paternal
affection.
Affection, yes, act of affection from a dad to a child.
I could see that. That makes sense. It's a similar problem.
My first thought, and I'm like, no, that's just what that he can hold her hand. That's an okay thing, Sarah. That's fine.
Yeah, right. I get that.
It's like so terrible. Ugh, I have to fight that all the time. So yes.
I have to fight the urge to not buy Caraway bakeware and cookware every darn day, because I would if I gave in to my urge. Did you see it
when you were staying at my house?
No, I didn't.
I mean, probably because it was hidden in my stove.
Yeah, I didn't cook anything, so I didn't see it.
That's right. I was trying to keep it
all
out.
And I wasn't. I should have rifled through your cabinets.
Yeah, what the heck were you thinking?
I know.
You're staying at my house. You should have gone through everything.
I'm really disappointed in myself.
Yeah. Well, if you did, you would see the beautiful Dutch oven that I got in the nice, like, white color. Gorgeous. I should just keep it out.
Caraway cookware and bakeware is stunning to look at. Tons of colors, so you can color coordinate, or you get like a whole rainbow and collect all different ones.
That would be so fun. I didn't even think about that. Good idea, Suze. Okay.
So cute. But the most important thing is how this is sturdy, incredible quality, non-toxic, but yet non-stick. Somehow, magic.
Yes, magic.
Absolutely outperforms every pan or baking item I've ever owned. I cannot say enough good stuff about this. It's incredible for your home. If you like baking or cooking, you are going to love this stuff. Visit carawayhome.com/braincandy to take advantage of this limited time offer for 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/braincandy or use code braincandy at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern. I meant to tell you, Sarah's always joking about how my mom, for like 30 years, had this mauve carpet.
Yes, I am always joking about that.
And a few years ago, she replaced it and just got exactly the same mauve carpet again.
Because if it ain't broke.
It's her favorite color. Like, I think she sees it as like it hides the dirt, but whatever. And my sister got her all caraway cookware and bakeware for Christmas. And so my mom picked it out, and she picked that color.
Okay, it's her favorite color.
It's like that
is her favorite color.
It actually is beautiful in the cookware,
and
but
now
it is
it's
funny.
Actually probably makes sense a little more.
Yeah, it classes up the joint.
It does.
It totally does. You'll love it. If I ever spy it, I'll take a picture and send it to you. It's
Please
like a little
do. That's
joke.
great. I love that.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the Nubis, nobody can find it, which really just tells us that we absolutely. I would like to. You know what? Should we just do like a sneaky poll?
Yes.
Yeah.
We should. You should
And
ask
just
Eli
see.
if he thinks he could find it on the female body. What's your prediction?
I think that he will roll his eyes at me and then tell me that there is no such thing as that.
Well, and you're terrible at lying too.
Yes,
what if
he's going to say, "What are you trying to do, Trick?" I'm already like can't contain myself and smiling. I couldn't get it out.
If you did it as like a list where you said like, okay, do you think you would be able to find this and then in that list include Nubis?
Okay, here's the question. When you're making these kind of lists where you're hiding the information, you tend to always put it.
Everyone does a third.
I know! That's what I was going to say! So where do I put it in line?
Yeah.
That's so funny that you're like, everybody does a third. That's exactly where I was going to put it.
Oh, man. Can't be the first one. Can't be the first one.
Second. We'll put it second.
Second. Okay.
The clitoris, the nubis,
the labia.
The labia.
And the taint. No, I don't even know. What's another one? We
could go labia minora and majora.
Yeah. Do those labes. Okay.
Yes.
Keep us posted on that outcome.
I bet people listening who maybe grew up in the similar kind of way you did are like, oh, Sarah, stop saying those words.
Yeah,
Stop saying labia.
I did have to put a moratorium on our poo stories because we were getting out of control. There were too many of them.
But listen, I don't control the news.
That's true.
You want less poo stories? Stop taking shits on people's desks.
What we talk about.
I know, that's true. Listen, only half of us were coming in with the true poo stories, so...
I know. I'm sorry. I already apologized. Jesus.
Okay. Oh, this is not a poo story, but this is terrifying. You will hate this.
But this is terrifying.
A Long Island woman was pronounced dead and then started breathing hours later at the funeral home.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wait,
and they're being super hush-hush about it. I kept trying to look.
They?
The funeral home and the hospice care center where she was. They're saying, in order, we respect like the process of dying, and we respect, our
I don't think you do.
Patients. I know.
Okay, and here's the thing.
Yeah.
One of my stories for today or for our next episode is about a similar situation. And whenever I read this stuff, usually you hear about it like in, I don't know, India or it's always the ones we've done before have been from India. And so I always think, okay, well, maybe that's different. They got different situation over there. They do things differently. So these mistakes happen. I don't know.
Right. No, totally.
These are mine's from the U.S. and yours is from the U.S. So here's what I want to know. You know how they used to put bells inside?
Yeah.
And then if you woke up in the coffin underground, you could ring the bell and someone would come dig you up.
Yeah.
We need to start doing that again.
Yeah, definitely.
How many people do you think this happens to every year?
Why don't we have better indicators for death?
Right. Yeah, this pulse thing ain't holding up.
No, we got to go brain function or something.
I think that's even worse. I think the brain stops before the heart. Like, not the brain, but like the activity,
You're just saying that because of that chicken who got his head cut off.
I don't even know about that. No, about how, when people are in a vegetative state and they have like no real activity, but they're still alive.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, there's different kinds of function up there.
Yeah, this is true.
What do we need to do to make sure? Because I don't want to wake up under there.
Suze, I'm with you.
This is why you have to get cremated.
Well, yeah, then it's like...
then you're definitely not waking up.
Yeah, definitely not. That's a one-way ticket.
Sarah, how many people a year do you think are buried and wake up under there?
Well, this was not the first time this had happened, like, recently.
Tell me.
This was another article that came out. This was in Iowa. This was in Urbandale.
That's the one I was going to talk about. Yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
Although she wasn't buried, but she was in a body bag.
Yeah, I know. And like the thing, so here's where I think she made her mistake is the do not resuscitate.
That's her mistake. I like how this is your victim blaming. This is her mistake.
I'm just saying that the mistake because she's like, whatever happens, don't touch me. Don't try to make me better.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Okay, so maybe we could... Thank
you. This is what I'm saying. I was like, I don't want to blame her, but I'm like, if you say nobody do anything, like, what are we supposed to do when you're like, got one foot in the grave?
From what I read, I didn't think that the nursing home sounded negligent. Like they checked for the pulse. She wasn't breathing. They called the family and did all this stuff. She had Alzheimer's, but she was only 66.
I know.
She was only 2 years older than Madonna's original face.
Oh, Susie. I'm not saying, to your comment. I am with your comment. I am saying,
well, that was a real shocker there.
That was a shocker.
Obviously, I don't judge. I'm half of me is fake. I just feel bad that it's not looking like Cher's or J-Lo's. You know what I mean? Like something's different there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the look she likes.
I think it might be. There is this whole like kind of like look like an alien thing that's like this trend that people are into.
Hey, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whatevs. Do you, Madonna.
Like we are under a lot of pressure in this world.
Yeah, who cares? Just like be happy.
But anyway, I'm just saying like this lady was only 2 years older than Madonna.
Yeah.
And so that was surprising to me because I feel like usually this happens when people kind of look like they're already dead.
Yeah, she had dementia, depression, and anxiety.
She was.
But I feel like those are kind of
this isn't going to help with that.
Right. I feel like that anxiety and depression is kind of like the result of it's maybe like symptoms of the Alzheimer's as well. Yeah. Like it just sounded awful.
Yeah, she can't catch a break. Then they think she's dead. They wrap her up in that body bag, and then they take her to the morgue or wherever the heck you go. And then they unzipped her, and she was like gasping for air.
Oh my God. They're like, oh, that's terrifying. It feels kind of like there's probably a backup at the morgue.
Backup for what?
Like, I think there's a line to get your makeup done at the morgue.
I see what you're saying about like a traffic jam.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I just, in my mind, like maybe I just watched like too many episodes of, what was that amazing show? 6 Feet Under. There's no such thing as too many episodes of 6 Feet Under. It's the greatest show ever made. Oh my God. It's so good. I really do believe that. That's a perfect television show.
Wow.
But then I tried to watch it again and it didn't hold up as well.
Oh, wow. It's a real emotional roller coaster.
I know. But anybody who's seen it, like it did, but it didn't. Like it did for the time.
It's the perfect show except for the second time you watch it.
Yeah. I mean, it really was. Like it really like portrayed some things like gay couples and like interracial couples in ways that they did not do. It was like HBO at its best. Talked about death. They talked about like, it was so good. Everybody, you can definitely
bet they didn't bury anyone
message
alive.
me about this. No, I don't think they did. They were.
What would you do if you woke up in a body bag?
Oh my God, in a body bag?
Yeah, a body bag. Wouldn't you just call? I mean, what was she like? They unzipped her and she was just gasping for breath. You'd think she'd be like, "Hello."
Yeah, but also if you have dementia, like what if you woke up and you like really were, I'd be really confused.
Yeah,
I think it was
that's
a
good
nightmare.
point. She was probably baffled. What the heck was going on?
What the heck is going on?
What if you were the one that unzipped her?
That is the terrifying part. That's
that is horror
that
movie.
is the stuff of nightmares.
You're right about that.
I feel like day one, week one, mortuary school, they're like, guys, I know you've seen the scary movies out there, but trust me, nowhere outside of a Stephen King novel does anyone wake up from the dead. You're fine. Then you got little Sandra over there, and it's like her second week on the job, and she just really liked makeup and her grandma, so she wanted to just help people who were old look at her. She goes to unzip her next client, because that's what she calls them because she's nice, and living, breathing, dead person.
That is trauma.
And
I guarantee you that she will need so much therapy. And luckily, Brain Candy Podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, so I have news for her.
And we hope she's a Brain Candy brainiac.
Yeah, totally. We have that. That type of person would love Brain Candy.
100%.
And BetterHelp could help her process the myriad feelings that I'm sure she's experiencing after unzipping that body bag.
Yes.
Because BetterHelp has somebody for everybody. Like whatever it is that's on your mind or you're dealing with.
Maybe just like regular, ordinary anxiety and depression from just being a human and not seeing a dead body.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be trauma. Some of us just, life on this earth
don't get along with,
Yeah. Life's complicated.
Whoever needs some help on communication.
Right. They have licensed therapists for whatever it is that ails you or you're in need of. And BetterHelp's a great option because you don't have to go into an office or anything. You can just stay at home and access your therapist online. Convenient, flexible, affordable. And you fill out this questionnaire and then it'll help you figure out which person is right for you based on what you are in need of. Mm-hmm. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit BetterHelp.com/BrainCandy today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/BrainCandy. I mean, for real though, that chick is going to need to talk to somebody.
Absolutely. Oh, it's very scary. Let's see. What else do I want to throw in here in the time we have left?
Whenever you mentioned the buried alive thing, I mean, you probably were drawn to it because that's my biggest fear is like being buried alive.
Yes, exactly. That's why I said it.
And that includes avalanches. And Sarah knows somebody that was in a freaking avalanche the other day.
That is right. I do. We get a call from one of Eli's friends who live in Zurich, and they said they were like on they did like a 2-day backpacking or like backcountry ski trip where the first day it was like all women and they were like just kind of doing some training and some like exploring the area, and they had a guide with them. They have a guide with them the whole time. So they got comfortable like knowing each other. They trusted the people that they were skiing with. And this is the second day they've all been together. And this time it's like 3 women and then 1 guy. And they're all like, I guess this is a rule. You got to be like a good technique or something for safety. You stay about 50 meters apart. That's what she was saying a lot on the phone. She was like, we were all spaced out.
Safety?
Yeah, they like, I don't know, something about maybe having 2 people, like the weight of 2 people on there. You want to first watch somebody go down.
That's a red flag.
Everybody takes turns.
Be doing that shit.
And so they, were following all the rules, and they all had avalanche training, and had been the classes and everything. And the ground just under them just gives way, and they were caught up in an avalanche, and our friend Lily gets like swept away and her skis come off, which is good. It's like what you want so that it doesn't like suck you down with your skis. And she said her instinct was to scream, open her mouth to scream. And as soon as she did, snow went right into her mouth and just piled up and made it so she felt like she couldn't breathe. And luckily she was able to poke her head out and they were able to find her.
Can you imagine if you just saw a head hanging out of the snow like that?
No! And the scary part was her husband was right behind her. And so her husband watched the avalanche take her away. And he's like doesn't know what to do. That would be terrifying to not know, because you don't know when it's going to end. You don't know if she's going to hit a rock. The thing that I'm the most terrified of is being impaled by a tree.
Yeah, right.
Like you got a tree branch that's like sticking out there and you get caught. Oh,
who needs that?
My God, that is terrifying. Yeah. And I keep seeing these. I was just watching another skier today that said she got caught up in an avalanche as well. And that these are happening like way more frequently than...
That was a big deal, though. The day after you told me about that avalanche, I saw on BBC News that like 20 people died in it. So, I mean, this was like not just your everyday avalanche. This was like for real, for real.
Oh, God. It's really scary.
Well, why are you saying it's happening more frequently? Because
I have no idea. I don't know if it's happening more if it's the kind of snowfall that we got this year. What I'm thinking is it might be, so you know how California is having the crazy mudslides and it's when we have fires and then the rains come on top of it. Yeah. That it seems like I was here last year in the mountains. I was in Keystone all winter, like for a significant portion of the season. And I did not hear about the frequency of them that I'm hearing about them this year. I could be totally wrong. It could just be, but this is like,
you're paying more attention because you're more involved. Well, I don't know, but it stands to reason though, because all of this sort of natural disasters are happening more frequently and more, consequentially, like there are more people being harmed. So it's so sad and scary. See, this makes me think I chose the wrong category for New Year. I should have chosen tranquility.
Yeah, rest like me.
Because leaving your house is real scary. Although, this lady, those people you were talking about just died and didn't die.
Yes.
And ended up in body bags. So what do I know?
Yeah. That's true. The ones who were in body bags survived.
They were just hanging out.
The ones who were in the avalanche also survived.
You can't win. We're all doomed, okay? That's the lesson. That's the takeaway. Yeah.
Well, here's what we learned today. We learned that, change your name, keep your name. Who gives a fuck? If you're going to be petty, just own it. And just who cares? Petty. And,
the one thing we
new
wives
are probably the ones who maybe are mad about this.
One thing I forgot to say about the name change thing is that I think part of what drives it a lot of times is whichever name is better.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Let's say your last name is Dick, which is a real last name. And then you married someone and their last name is
Sparkle Butterfly Rainbow.
Yeah. Well, I'm keeping that.
Definitely keeping Sparkle Butterfly Rainbow. Obvi.
And I really do think that goes into a lot of people's decision about whether they take a name or not, or revert back.
I will say the last name Patterson is so freaking common. It's on it feels like I see it everywhere. And then to me, it's boring.
That's why I'm surprised you didn't hyphenate, because Rice Patty would have, that was cool. Sarah Rice Patty or something. Yeah, I know. That would have been fun.
See, that would have been funny for me, and my ex-husband would have hated it.
That's double the pleasure, double your fun.
Right. I should have known. Dang it. Well, next time. Well, I don't know about, I was thinking Harriton, Harry. That's Harriton sounds too much like it rhymes with Sarah.
You guys is Harriton. So you're...
Harriton.
If you got married
Sarah Harriton, it sounds like it's going to rhyme, but it doesn't rhyme. I don't know.
That is so true. My friend Leah, she married a guy and his last name is Leach. So she became Leah Leach.
Okay.
And that's very
Sarah
cute.
Harriton. It's kind of like Sarah Rice. I just went to one that's like the repetition of my same name again. Sarah Harriton.
Yeah. Do you think you...
No, he said, he was like, no, I don't care. You keep it.
Do you think you're going to marry this man?
If he asks, I'm going to say yes.
Oh, that's a good thing to announce. So then, if they hear it, they're like, okay.
Yes. Just want to let you know that I will say yes.
Are you a person who would not propose? This is good that we're talking about this right on Valentine's.
Yeah. No, I told him I would propose. I was like, you better be careful. If you don't do it, I'm not going to be waiting 5 years because I'll just do it to you.
Do you have a date in mind? You don't have to say it. Where after that point, you'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to ask him. Please do it tomorrow for Valentine's. This is my best idea ever.
Like, what if I did that? Oh my God, what would he would have to say yes. I mean, was he going to say no? I'm just gonna
what would he say? This is important.
He would be mad.
He would be. And what does that tell us?
Right. He's like,
we need to analyze that.
We do need to. But like, I'm okay that he's mad. But like, because here's the thing. He's a planner. Like, he likes to plan and he likes to like do the, like, I don't know, like find the perfect thing to do. And I think what he would be upset at would not be that I did it, but that I did it without a plan.
You gave him time. He didn't do it fast enough. Now the plan sucked, is what I say.
I think I would give him 1 year and 6 months.
That's so funny.
Why?
Wait,
that seems like... Because after a year, because then like his sister's going to be married. Like, everybody's already married. Like, what are we doing here?
Okay.
I got other shit to do. If you don't want, like, come on.
So come fall.
Yeah.
We can revisit this conversation.
Yeah. If he doesn't do that, then I don't know what to tell you.
I'm going to talk to you more about this off the air because I have more to say, but it's private for you, whatever. And I know I'm already pushing my limits, but this is so fascinating. I don't know why I never thought about it. Because and this is fair to, regardless of what your answer is.
Yeah.
Is there a part of you that is, that does like the tradition of the man asking?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Okay. You think it's romantic or something?
No,
or
it just feels like you don't get, I like want the opportunity to feel special.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I like to spend time making things special for other people. And so this feels almost like a expectation that you're supposed to make this special for. But I don't like my birthday the same way. So I don't know what that's about.
Okay. Yeah, you can.
This one says like, I have chosen that I pick you. Maybe I'll ask him. That sounds right up my alley.
I would think that's so badass.
Yeah, I could probably do that. He'd probably be like, yeah, that sounds good. But
right.
he would probably then say that he still wants to do it for me. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm really.
I agree though that my instinct was I thought he'd be mad if you did it.
Yeah, but I think he would be mad at not planning it. Like if I just was like this Friday.
I think he'd be mad that you put him on the spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do.
I don't, because I know what he's going to say.
Well, you certainly know him better than I do. What the fuck?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll talk more later about that.
This is interesting.
And then you people should ask the men in your life if they knew where the Nubis is, because this is hilarious. Yes.
Ask, and why limit it to men? Ask all people in your life to name.
Yeah,
to show you where.
Yeah, you're right, but I don't want to make a fool of ladies because we endure enough already.
You're right, but only like those know-it-all people who think that they know everything, like me. Like you could ask somebody like me, and then when they don't, be like, "Come on." That's fair.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good point. Okay, and don't get buried alive. If you have love in your life, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you give love, share love, not just romantically. Love of all kinds.
We have love for all of you.
We love you very much. And, have a great day.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.